Greetings, everyone. So, one of our best practices this year at WES was to engage students through active learning. During one of our initial staff meetings during our PD session, we actually sat down and had a discussion about what education looked like 50 years ago compared to what it actually looked like or should look like today. And once we kind of mapped that out, we realized that we need to make sure that our students became more active learners. So one of the things that we implemented in a few of our classrooms was actually whiteboard tables, which basically allowed students to be more engaged and more interactive with one another, and did some collaborations among each other to work on problem solving skills as a group or as individuals. Our literacy coach, Ms. Stokes, was awarded a $5,000 grant, which allowed us to purchase additional pieces of technology for our active learners. This has added some additional excitement to our learning commons. During one of our co-teaching classes, our 7th graders were able to make geometric ornaments by using 3D pens. 3D pens allow students the opportunity to draw in 3D. The pens are fun for students to use and give them the opportunity to see how a design created on paper can materialize into a physical object. Our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders created a turbine during a competition to see which turbine would create the most wind. Students were amazed as to how our new 3D printers actually work.
In this picture, you see Miss Stokes, who is our digital literacy coach, with some students that attended the NC TIES conference in Raleigh back in February and March. That was a conference about technology, but what our students were able to do was showcase their learning, and so it was an awesome opportunity for them. We were fortunate this year to have a teacher come on board at West who previously taught in Japan, so she still had some connections there. Our 7th grade students were able to Skype with a teacher in Japan when he wasn't in the classroom, and they formed a pen pal relationship with the students there. And so they were able not only to correspond and Skype with the teacher, but they were able to write back and forth with the students there in Japan. And one of the things that they learned was how to count and how to write in Japanese. And so you'll see on the whiteboard tables, the students are practicing writing their numbers in Chinese.
In this picture, you will see our students using learning cubes to gather information about the different planets. Our students were excited to download the app to their cell phones to use for instructional purposes. Our 6th graders read the book entitled Hatchet by Gary Paulson. The pilot in the story had a heart attack, so our 6th grade ELA teacher, Miss Garrow, asked several nurses to come in and provide AED and CPR training. This presented our students with an opportunity to experience a real-life application situation.
Through the CTE department, our students were able to take a trip to Cummins Engine Plant here in the Rocky Mount Battleboro area. And through that trip, students were able not only to tour the facilities and really get hands-on connections to real life and to careers, but they also were able to build an engine out of Lego pieces. So you will see in the second picture, there is an engine. It looks like a working engine and it actually would work, but it is built out of Lego pieces. And so, that's something that's really relatable to students. A lot of students play with Legos, but then also to draw the connections there on the real world applications. This year, we were fortunate to be able to select a handful of students to take to North Carolina State University on a STEM field trip. These students were able to tour the engineering department. They also were able to tour the campus, which you'll see a picture, just a fun photo of students interacting with the college type atmosphere that many of them haven't seen before, but also the learning that was there. So we started off the morning with a rocket building competition, and so students were able to build and design their own rockets without any prior knowledge, just simply by giving some random craft materials. And then we had the competition where students saw whose rocket shot the best, and then we kind of broke down maybe why and some speculations and some whys and wonders. Also, students were able to do some soil sample testing, and so they were able to collect some soil samples and really break down what was in them and just do some studying.
The Charlie Brown play that we presented to the school and our community was done in December. Students created and designed their own props and their costumes. Students also had to memorize their lines for the play.
In these photos, you will see different students using the virtual reality goggles or the virtual reality headsets. There are a variety of things students can do with these and have done, from taking virtual field trips in an ELA or a social studies class. Maybe they were reading a passage and it talked about a particular place, and so the teacher could virtually take students there to draw those real life applications through the virtual goggles. Students in science class could get up close and personal with an exploding volcano, whereas you wouldn't be able to do that in real life, or they could take a ride on a roller coaster to explore the mathematics.
Our STEM competition took place at West Edgecombe Baptist Church this year, and our students designed and built their own roller coasters from Connects kits. One of the things that I was really impressed with was the fact that these kids had different academic backgrounds, and they were able to win first place. STEM Club was to provide our students with an opportunity to have a voice about our clubs. We surveyed them about clubs they would like to have. STEM Club was our most popular choice. In our STEM clubs, students can build and design several projects during that club.